Hey, man, if Stu's not here, what would you like me to do?
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. I think what you get. Let's just leave. Show's over. I'm out.
See ya.
Oh. Hey, everybody. What's going on? I felt like a Backstreet Boys song in a second there. Holy moly. Welcome to the Heroes World Sidekick Show. I am your host, Rob. As you can see, John is... Oh, this is not John. This is my buddy Tim. Tim Baratis is this way. Here we are. From the Fight Inside podcast. John is absent today. He has decided to take the evening off. He is learning some new moves through the Kama Sutra book that he and his wife are going to gingerly try later this week. So we wish John all the best of luck in being a posable, bendable human figure. In the meantime, I've got Tim here again from the Fight Insight podcast. Tim, what's going on, man?
How's it going, buddy? How's it going, everybody? Good to be back on the Sidekick Show, or as we're calling it today, the Rob Show.
Yeah, I don't know why John did that. Well, it's because it's my show, I guess.
Yeah,
that's usually my show, isn't it? Isn't that really what it is? It's just it's me and John, like just a couple of dicks just rolling through the street. So we got a lot of things to talk about. Actually, the one
a lot of sexual imagery. Right off the top.
Thank you very much. The one guest who was supposed to be joining us has not shown up yet. So Stu, thank you very much for your prompt attention. I'm actually going to send him. He's not even online, so maybe Stu's got has internet issues. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about
cell phone problems.
Correct. And maybe some other problems. So in the meantime, this is just going off the rails. In the meantime, I want to talk about a couple of things to bring to your attention. First of all, hello to everybody who is watching us live, whether you are on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Thank you so much. I see Lewis, Scott are in there. Sarah, there's another person. You what?
How do I see comments?
Oh,
I don't like seeing comments, but I can.
Here, how about I do that? Lewis is saying, "Welcome back, Tim."
We love Lewis.
Yeah.
I get it.
There's somebody else here who's now saying, "Oh my God,
can't go anywhere without seeing that." But okay.
That's a nice message from Scott. Hey, buddy, thank you very much, and thanks to everybody who had messaged me privately over the last week. Obviously, my son and I. Well, and he was actually the one that was doing the. He had the procedure at Sick Kids, but all went well, and we are doing well. So yeah, thanks everybody. So again, this is the Heroes World Sidekick Show. John is off today, and I brought in Tim, and Stu is supposed to be here. He is not here just yet, so we're going to roll through. I wanted to go over a couple of things, though, in case you have not caught up on what's new on the Heroes World feed. The first thing is the main podcast dropped yesterday, and we did, and Tim, I know you're an exceptionally busy individual, so you likely have not seen yesterday's 2 episodes, but Stu, John, and myself did a review of Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. So if you have any interest in watching that review or the movie, check out the review. If you have no interest in watching the movie, check out the review. If you have no interest in even watching the review because you don't give a shit about the movie, I completely understand because the movie is shit. So
yeah,
that's
the podcast. Your first podcast on the Part 1,
yes,
was like a billion times better than that first thing. It's garbage. The movie. I can only assume the second part's going to be horrible. That said, hold on. That said, and I don't know if we're going to get to this because I've received no notes about what the show is about.
I didn't want to.
But I'm an idiot, and I still turned on the 3rd season of Transformers.
What?
It's better than the first 2 by a lot. And I haven't watched all of it, but I'm maybe 3 episodes in. It's way better than the first 2 seasons.
Okay, and that was Tim joining us today. Tim has to unfortunately leave.
Really?
He's already. I refuse. I'm not watching it. The completionist, the OCD in me is saying you need to finish it.
That's my problem.
The person who's I'm trying to think logically is saying, heck no, I'm not going to watch it at all.
I don't know what the reviews are saying. I don't know whether people are saying that that's a good show. Obviously the first 2 seasons, total trash. But I don't know if people are saying that the last season is any good, but it's not bad, man. At least they're doing something where they're tying in the Beast Wars with it.
Okay.
And it's pretty good.
I don't believe you. Okay. Also, we did that in as well. So that was Stu, John, and myself reviewed that. And then Stu, Pat, John, and I talked. We had a bit of a mixed bag of wait, was Pat on it? Yes. We had a mixed bag of, it's been such a long day. I don't know.
Who are you looking at?
What do you mean? I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at.
Oh, but you looked over there. You're like, was.
I'm trying to think. That's how I think. Most people who are like studious and who think really well do this. They look up to the sky and like, aha. That's how astronomy was discovered. You dummy. But
I get it.
Thank you. But yeah, we had a mixed bag of topics, and we're kind of continuing that today. But before we get into that, and I'm still messaging Stu to find out if he's coming on or not. John did want me to mention. If you have subscribed to the Heroes World YouTube page, thank you very much for doing so. Please do us all a favor. Hit the like bell on the videos that we do post. Hit the notifications. And I'm going to tell you why the notification bell is very important. Because coming up on Wednesday, Andre has an interview with Ho Chi Anderson, who is the new writer for the Luke Cage series coming out of Marvel. And that is dropping on YouTube on Wednesday. I believe it's at 8 o'clock is the premiere, but you definitely want to have your notifications set up so that way you get that notification on your phone or your tablet or computer, wherever you're watching your YouTube videos. So definitely want to check that out on Wednesday. Obviously, Tuesday, Andre goes live at 9 o'clock with what's new in the store. Thursdays, it is kind of, again, another mixed bag called, Hey, What Did I Miss? With, I know, I'm just blowing this.
How could you miss anything when there's 17 podcasts going on? I mean,
we are now, it's a network. It's really what it turns out to be. It's just turning into a network. So What I Miss is on Thursdays with Chris Ho, John Ho. They are related. And Pat, not Pat Ho. And they and myself sometimes, and we go on and talk about what's new in news and the box office report. Yeah. I will not be here this Thursday. Tim, do you want to know where I'm going to be on Thursday, buddy?
Hold on. Let me guess.
Okay.
I'll
give you a hint.
You're going to be watching a movie.
I will be. I got my tickets, pal.
Hold on. You're going to be watching. It's not Fast and the Furious.
I already saw that.
Yeah. Hold on. It's going to be, oh my God. The Guy movie? Guy?
A Guy movie? What do you mean a Guy movie?
What's it called? Guy something? The one with Deadpool.
Oh, Free Guy? No, that doesn't open up this week. It's next week.
Hold on, it's something else.
Oh, as he's quickly trying to type onto his computer and not think about. See, now he's looking up. Oh my God, you saw that already? No, I did not see Space Jam. It's Suicide Squad, buddy. I'm checking out.
God. Is it? Yeah, because it's August 5th already. That's right. Shoot, that movie looks amazing, man. I'm gonna get suckered into watching that garbage too. Can't wait.
So I think you misspoke. Garbage. No, that's not
as hyped as I was for the first one, and then the massive letdown. I'm as hyped as I am for this one. So we'll see what happens. It looks fantastic though, but so did the first one. So
well, anybody can cut a great trailer.
Exactly.
The proof is in the pudding, and those are in the reviews that are out right now. On Rotten Tomatoes, critic score is very, very high. I'm personally looking forward to it, so I will not be here on Thursday. My son and I are going. We are braving. We already went to a theater, so we saw Fast 9. That review, I'm sure, is coming out pretty soon. If you haven't seen Fast and Furious 9, it is now available to rent through any major video-on-demand platform of your choice. Or you can go to the theater, which I did. And I'm not going to spoil what I thought, but let me just say, I wish I had my money back.
No, come on. Okay, but to be fair, you haven't liked any of them, right? What was the last one you liked?
So I've actually watched all of them in the last month and a bit with my son because he wanted to watch. He wanted to watch starting with number 5.
You got to get caught up on the plot because it's very important.
That's a bit of a problem because plot is it's an interesting term that is not always applied to the Fast and the Furious movies. Yeah. I know.
But hold on. But to the fans and the millions of people watching, what was the last Fast and the Furious movie that you actually liked? To put your disdain for number 9 into context, what was the last one you liked?
I thought 6 was probably the last one I truly enjoyed.
Yeah. See, I've liked them all, man. So
yeah,
I feel
everybody has faults.
Wait, number 6 is the first one with The Rock? The one where
that was number 5. Number 5 was the first one with The Rock.
What was 6? What did they fight in 6? The tank?
Other people. Yeah, I think the tank.
The tank, right? Yeah, that was a good one, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, buddy. What else you got? Again, thanking everybody for jumping in. I don't know what this means. Oh, I do know what this means because somebody saw a movie and I'm not going to talk about it. Not yet, Scott, but maybe after this show, because it's legal. Yeah. So anyways, okay, so I guess we have a situation where Stu just messaged me. Sorry. Oh, he's got tech issues. Okay, that's fine.
He could log on his phone. So who are we kidding?
Do you understand that Stu actually still uses a rotary phone? It's been very difficult to text with the rotary phone.
It takes a long time.
You thought hitting the button 3 times just to get the right letter was difficult.
Yeah.
When you're actually doing a rotary, it's next to impossible. So before Stu comes on, I do want to say this. John usually has what's coming out in the stores this week. I don't have any of that list, but I do know that John or Andre, maybe they did it together in unison, holding hands, put up a whole litany, a whole list of different titles that are be jumping into the Heroes World store. So I would definitely recommend you go check that out on the Facebook page. I think it's on their Instagram, but I definitely saw it on Facebook. Check it out to see what's new in the store. I think they might have even put up some of the figures that are coming in. I know John and Andre have been dropping up a lot of pictures of figures and items and statues and whatnot in board games. So you definitely want to check it out. It's heroesworld.ca, I believe. Okay, so listen, Stu is momentarily with us. I want to thank everybody again for coming in. Andre says, Suicide Squad. Rob, have fun. Andre, buddy, thanks, man. I will. I'm looking forward to it.
Is he saying that sarcastically?
Before we jump into things, Tim, I want to talk to you about your show that you have with your buddy Princey D. It is called the Fight Insight podcast. It's a kind of a play on words, but it's Fight Insight. You can definitely check that out on the YouTube channel. I think the link on this will be in the description when John uploads this onto YouTube as well. You can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. You guys were just out in my neck of the woods of Ajax, Ontario. Yeah. And I was so happy that I got a call to see you. And we got to hang out and finally embrace. And no, we didn't, because you didn't call.
Hey man, it was on all the socials, buddy. You want me to give a shout out just to what happened?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I want to talk all about it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Not really.
All right. Well, forget it. Anyways, for anybody that doesn't follow us already, please do at Fight Insight Podcast, Instagram. Yeah. You're already here on YouTube, so just go on over to our page, click subscribe. It really helps us. It's an MMA based podcast, so we talk all things fighting all around the world. We get guests every single week. From the UFC to 1FC to wherever. We've got tons of great guests lined up. And this week we have a Canadian-born fighter from Calgary, Malcolm X. Gordon, who just fought a couple weeks ago. So a Canadian fighter. That's pretty awesome. So what we did was we had a girl come on our podcast. We did a special episode. She's a fitness and health nutritionist, fitness and health trainer out in the Ajax area. And she was putting together a fundraiser for Indigenous awareness and fundraiser in support of Indigenous communities. Yep. So she ran a boot camp out in Ajax. I'm sorry that you couldn't come, but it was a great time, man. She had a good turnout. Her name on Instagram is @holisticmum, M-U-M. She put together an amazing thing, man. She had an elder from the Indigenous community come out, spoke about the issues and concerns, and gave out some literature and things, but ran a boot camp. It was a really incredible thing, man. All the props to this girl for doing what she does. And she, takes all the money, 100% goes towards the communities. It was awesome, man. And we're glad that we could be there. We supported her. We said we wanted to help you get your message out. And then we were there on site to do some promos and media and stuff like that. So yeah, really cool, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy. Admittedly, I can't. I usually try to bunch up a couple of your episodes together for myself. I listen to it while I'm working. The chemistry that you and Princey D have it's just hilarious. Obviously, one is a straight man, one isn't.
So can I say something? We go to this boot camp. And for anybody that watches our podcast, Prince is an insane person. Like he's literally crazy in a good way. Obviously, he brings a good dynamic. But he's there and we're doing the boot camp and he knows nobody in this thing, right? Neither do I. Most of the people came, as a support of this cause, and we're running the boot camp. Within 5 minutes of the boot camp running, he's screaming at the top of his lungs, "When I say hard work, you say dedication, hard work." And then suddenly all the people are screaming with him, dedication, hard work, dedicate. Like the guy has the knack to make people, get out. And that's what's so fun, man. So like with our guests and stuff, he makes people go crazy and gets them to get out of their shell pretty fast. But yeah, it was pretty funny, man. No, he's a good guy. Awesome.
I love watching the chemistry you guys have, and it makes your show. To be honest with you, it separates it from some of the other shows.
We people think like, oh, it just happens, but no, we purposefully like try to do that, right, where he takes the funny man shtick. But it's good, man. I love him to death for all the work that we've put in on building it. And I'm going to give one more plug. I apologize, but we're on Filipino TV now. So Fight Inside Podcast has awesome. Teamed Congrats. Up with a network, and we're on Filipino TV 3 times a week, awesome. Starting. Today is Monday, right? So we're on TV tonight. 10. If you have Filipino TV, channel 799 on Rogers, we're on tonight at 10:30.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations to you. I just got a ding. We may have a special guest in the house. Hey, you know what? Excuse me. Let me write my tardy slip here and hand this over to you,
so many tech issues on my end. I was like, oh, this is great. This has got to be early. And I'm like, not working. I'm like, all right, well, it's going to be a while. Reboot, reset. Sound wasn't working. Audio wasn't. But I got to listen a lot of to
What's up, Stu?
Tim's stuff. So, hey, Timmy. Filipino TV, I'm all about that. I'm going to watch that. And then while I'm holding my Jollibees, that's a thing. And then clearly there's a cult that I need to join because when something about dedication. So I just somehow
we'll just get your direct deposit information. And
isn't that how all cults start? I just give you all my money and go from there, and you'll manage the funds.
We'll give you back money as you earn it through our tasks and things.
100%.
Hey, that's kind of like how solar panels work. It's very similar. I like it. I like it very much. Hey guys, so thank you for tuning in to the Fight Inside podcast, but it's not. It's the Heroes World Sidekick Show. Thank you so much, everybody who are already making comments. And so this is what I kind of thought what I wanted to do today was I have these 2 esteemed individuals who couldn't make it, so I got these 2 guys, and I wanted to talk about a kind of a mixed bag of things. So I'm going to throw out some questions to you guys, and I would also welcome those who are watching, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, to make comments. And if not, if you're listening to this afterwards, definitely go into the YouTube channel and comment afterwards. But I wanted to get your thoughts on some of the news stories or some of the items that are kind of happening right now. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is something that Sue, Pat, John, and I kind of touched on in yesterday's Mixed Bag show, and that was this Black Widow lawsuit. As some of you may or may not know, Scarlett Johansson sues for a bunch of lost money due to Black Widow being put onto Disney Plus at the same time as theatrical. Her argument, and I'm very simplistically, is that hey, they're using Black Widow to essentially bait more subscribers. I'm out a whole bunch of cash. Disney issues a pretty
hold on. But for people that don't understand, because her contract was going to earn money off box office gross.
Correct. Yes, off the box. Okay. Yeah, so that's how if you had listened to the show yesterday, you would have heard that.
You're talking to people that didn't watch the show.
So Disney issues a really crappy response that she pretty much doesn't understand the COVID impact. And so today there's an article out that, so the new CEO of Disney is Bob Chapek, and the former CEO is Bob Iger, who's moved on. He's an executive chairman. Apparently so the 2 Bobs, Bob and Bob, but Iger is not happy with Chapek. Iger is a very, I've read his book. It's an interesting read. I would definitely recommend people to go out and read it if you wanted to, but he's very much he's a problem solver. And apparently he's pretty pissed as to what is going on with his lawsuit and how Chapek has handled it. So is Kevin Feige. He's pretty pissed off with how things are handling. So my question to you is, with all of that going on, you hear the words, some rumblings of Emma Stone and Cruella looking at filing a legal suit. You have potentially John Krasinski and Emily Blunt looking to pursue legal action against Paramount and Disney, respectively, for their movies. Where are we, guys, in 5 years? Where do we find ourselves with streaming, with theaters? Where are we? Where do you guys see the landscape in 5 years of our movie delivery?
Stu, you can take this one.
Tim, you got here first, so I came in tardy. I dug a hole underneath the podcast, and I just popped up like a lemur. So, Tim,
like a whack-a-mole.
Like Timon from Lion King. So you go first. Plus, you interrupted Rob as the host, which is a toll. You can't do that. Come on. So you should go first.
This is a very free flow today.
It is. You're not even wearing pants. Go on.
No, of course not. I don't know. I agree with the lawsuit. I think she should do something like that. I think it's good to I get Disney's response saying that, hey, you know, there's a pandemic and all that, and I do understand that. But the fact of the matter is we're so close to being out of it to push it now. And her movie, to my understanding, really doesn't impact the Marvel universe at all. Like you could do it later anyways, right? Like it's not timely in terms of what they're going to be releasing. I feel like you could have just waited it out to give her that respect. In terms of, Rob, you're directly to your question, which is what will happen in 5 years. I don't think the contracts will have this anymore. I think maybe they'll amend it, right? You can simply say like, hey, it's going to be a portion of box office gross, or if we choose to do it through Disney Plus, blah, 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 right? What I do not agree with, I'll just say quickly, people were saying, oh, well, you know, she's still making $30 off the rental. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of the people that are going to rent it for the $30, remember, we can all share that movie too on my account, right? So I share it with my sister or share it with my mom. So if I buy it for $30, it's going out to 5 or 6 people right off the hop. So that $30 doesn't cut it for that. So I don't agree with that argument. But I'm glad that she did the lawsuit, and I think it's a way that things will change contracts. It will change the world. Stu
doesn't agree.
Timmy, my God, you are chaos incarnate. You don't understand the ramifications of all the things that are happening. So to Rob's point, Bob Iger, yes, was the linchpin of all of Disney, and all his devotees have basically left. Bob Iger was the guy that was running the theme parks, and he was like, I'm coming in, and he's the heir apparent. And no doubt he is falling to the shareholders, because, Tim, the big picture is if you give this to her now, that changes unions and regulations for everything. Because remember,
right,
they're fighting for the next agreement into streaming. So Disney Plus, which is a property that's making Disney a ton of money, if you have to pay Scarlett Johansson out, and you got to pay everybody out, this is the precedence that sets it up going, because the ecosystem is, Tim, you make a movie, you get the back end, you get money off of the release on the theaters, you get a cut when it goes to DVD, you get a cut when it goes to streaming, and you get a cut when it goes to cable. And that's the ecosystem. And then from there, you pay your agent, you pay your people, and everything's teetered on this pyramid, as you mentioned before, where I was supposed to give you my money. When you take that block away and you put Scarlett Johansson's like this, they're going to go after her so hard. It's unbelievable, because if that goes through, the whole landscape of entertainment, basically, well, streaming's then not worth it, then they just cut all streaming completely.
But that's my question. But that's my question. Where are we in 5 years? Where do you see
I think Disney
movie delivery? Do we have streaming? Do we have theater? Like,
yes. So we're getting to the point right now where it is going to force Disney's hand, because Disney is now, and the bean crunchers are going through all the stuff, the Suicide Squad, Shang-Chi. They're going to look at Clifford. They're going to look at everything that's come out in the next 4 months and say, hey, Scarlett Johansson, your movie did really well compared to the Fast 9 movie, and that went straight to movie theaters, not to streaming at all. Your movie's going to compare to Shang-Chi in the theaters. They're going to basically go, look at all the movies that came out that bombed. You look at G.I. Joe, like that made no money. You look at all the, Stillwater made nothing. At the end of the day, the theaters are really taking a beating, and Disney will be like, hey, we did the best we could. You still made more money than all the movies that's come out since. Right. So I imagine that they're going to fight this tooth and nail, have every entertainment lawyer in the whole world fighting against her. And there's a reason why The Rock is not putting a lawsuit in. There's a reason why there's rumors of Emily Blunt, Emma Stone, but Emma Stone hasn't really done anything yet. The only person is Johansson, because this is her last Disney paycheck, her last big movie. Everyone else is not going to rock the boat, because you don't want to also be the person that, I guess it seemed difficult to work with in an industry that's basically now just Disney, like Netflix and Warner Brothers. If you knock out one of the big three and they're like, you're difficult to work with, she'll never make a Disney movie ever again. So this is a very calculated play on her end. Disney is going to come out and say, well, you made $20 million. She's going to say, well, I could have made 50. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we look at it going, well, $20 million is still pretty good. And the views of public opinion, no one's going to cry about, oh, Scarlett Johansson only made $20 million for a movie. They're going to go, unless she made 5, and then we're like, well, you should be paid them more money. But unless this lawsuit goes into fruition and Scarlett Johansson wins, everything's going to name status quo until the next strike, and then we'll see what happens. Rob, to your point, we don't know till the next writer's strike happens, because every time they go on a strike, they fight for their union representatives, and eventually that will peter on. So, it's a big situation.
She's bringing to light the issue, right, Stu? Like, she's bringing to light the issue in a public forum. You're right. I'm not saying she's going to win the case.
It's a once in a lifetime situation, because again, this is a pandemic, right?
But the next pandemic. But the next pandemic, and to Rob's point, the streaming services are getting larger and larger. So Disney films a movie. You sign on, Disney films a movie. They think that this is going to be the next big thing. Post-production, they're like, I don't know. Our streaming numbers are a little bit low. Let's move this to streaming. It's going to be good if you're that main actor to have written something in your contract in case that happens, right?
The reason I ask where we find ourselves in 5 years, though, is because there are a number of movies that are being specifically filmed, written for HBO Max, namely Batgirl being the big one that we've heard of so far, where J.K. Simmons is about to come back and reprise his role as Commissioner Gordon for the Batgirl movie. So Warner Brothers is looking at making a bunch of movies and throwing, I think Static Shock is one of them, is just going to throw it strictly on to HBO Max with, and Tim's gone ahead and broken his place. So I do think streaming, though, I think streaming changes. I think it will change the method and how we're going to be getting our movies. And I think at some point, some of these companies are going to start to, Paramount Plus is not going to last, right? I think you're looking at the Disney, the Netflix, and HBO Max. Those are the top 3. Everything else is going to be their content eaters. They're going to build.
But you look at what Netflix does. You get paid all the front end right off the bat. Like the Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, the Gal Gadots for that new movie they have. They're being paid front end. Anyone who does a Netflix film, what they did is, you're not getting ticket sales. We're just going to pay you a lot of money up front.
Yep.
The streaming service will do the same. They'll just adjust the contracts to say, this is what you're going to be paid for this service. And that's it. And most of these young coming actors would be like, hey, I want something better than nothing. I'll take it. Yeah. To your point, Tim, Scarlett Johansson's suing because it violates her contract,
right?
And and again, that's surprising because we talked about yesterday. I'm surprised that Disney didn't do what Warner Brothers did, just pay them all out and be like, you know what, we're going to do this, but we're going to give you the money based on this movie making X amount of money. Yeah. Right. So that is the Disney interest, and because again, they could have saved themselves as much. Quiet. Yeah, and also in terms of lawyers, they probably would have saved the same amount of money in terms of lawyers' fees as you would fighting Scarlett Johansson. So that's it. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in 5 years, Rob. To your point, we could again the streaming services will eventually gobble each other up, so we'll only have 3 at the end of the day anyway. So it's just a matter of which of the 3.
Yeah, I'm going to move on to Fandom. Hey, guys, Fandom. We talk about Fandom all the time on the Heroes World Sidekick Show, the main podcast. And my question is this to you, my esteemed colleagues. Fans are demanding to see the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad. It's never going to happen. As I said last week on the What I Miss show, stop begging for it to come out on Thursday this week. It's not happening. Shut up. But they're also bashing He-Man and Kevin Smith because they don't like what they've done to Tila's hair. I don't know what the hell the problem is, but the fandom has definitely evolved, and it can be a bit crazy. Do you guys think, though, that fandom as a term, as a movement, has it changed because of the pandemic? Because everybody was kind of forced to be at home and start consuming all of this content that maybe they wouldn't have done normally under normal working circumstances. And now, do you think that the term fandom is changed pretty much forever? What do you think, Timmy?
Oof, that's a very weird question, Rob.
How is that weird? I mean, okay, my next question,
Rob. Great question.
Stifler's mom, was she a triple D, or do you think there might have been enough in there?
No, I don't know, man. I think it's the same. I think it's just social media in general that's bringing people together. And I think the streaming services that are releasing things in batches, and we're getting so used to it and consuming our stuff at one time. No, I don't know. I don't think it's fandom per se, but I think there's a lot of bad stuff coming out too. Like, I think a lot of the quality of things that have come out, like, we're not too happy with. So I feel like in the past we haven't had such bombs at such a consistent rate. Like, like we've been panning Transformers. That was pretty bad. Masters of the Universe, I didn't watch your thing, but I mean, I could not stand it. And looking online, it was getting smashed from reviews in line with what I thought about it. Yeah, everyone's got different opinions. Everybody's got different thoughts, and I think, look, if you're getting a lot of comments on things, odds are it's a lot of negativity. People love to jump on negative bandwagons as well, and that's getting more and more. So that's all part of it. That's just part of the world. I don't know, Stu, what do you got?
Let's look at the word fandom. Where's that coming from? Fan. And what's fan? Fanatic. Like, this is the course of what we are at this standpoint. When you are a fan, you are a fanatic of something. And I think Patton Oswalt talked about it in his last book, Zombie Spaceship Wasteland, that we are in a society now that can gather something faster than before. Back when we were younger, Tim, myself, and Rob, if we wanted to talk about John Woo films, Tim would be like, I got a Laserdisc, Rob's got a VHS, and you know what? I have like one also, like some weird copy of it on VHS as well. So we would have to swap in between of us, and then maybe within 3 weeks we'd be able to understand all 3 John Woo movies. For a kid today, go online, download all of it within minutes, boom, done. You can be a John Woo expert in 24 hours. For us, it would have taken weeks, if not months, to gather it. And then I'd have to call Sarah, and Sarah, like, maybe I have this obscure John Woo film, and then I'd have to wait for Scott to send me his version from Minnesota. So just the feverishness of how fast things go now is the nature of this, and cell phones, everything. We're a culture of now, and we're used to it being so fast and so quick. So it's not a surprise that people want an haircut. It's not a surprise people want all this stuff, because you're accustomed to getting it all the time. When you want it, how you want it. There is nothing stopping you from getting anything you want typically right now. You want food, Uber Eats, DoorDash, anything you want can come to your house, no questions asked. You just have to.
Two things. One, I don't understand why way back in the day when you were asking Tim and I about our John Woo movie, why it had to be Broken Arrow. I don't get it. Out of all the movies, Stu, why you chose Broken Arrow with Christian Slater and John Travolta is probably his worst movie, but that's fine. For whatever reason, you really wanted to
the
watch
fact that you own it, and then Tim has Wind Talkers. I need that one. I need to know how that works.
I'm watching it, Stu, and I can't change where I'm at in the VCR tape. I'll lose my spot.
But don't you think though?
What it is.
But don't you think though that because I feel like the discourse on Twitter surrounding pop cultural events, whether they're movies, comics, storylines, I feel like the vitriol has increased since the pandemic started. And I kind of feel like, not a lot of it, but a good portion of that is from new fans who have just started to binge watch all of these seasons or just kind of consume this stuff. Like, I don't know if either one of you guys watched Tiger King, but that was like the biggest thing last May of 2020. Everybody was like, Tiger King, and everybody started watching it, and it exploded into this whole entire thing. Nick Cage was going to be in a movie. He finally said, "Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm out." But Kate McKinnon's still going for it with her movie.
I'll do jiu-jitsu instead.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to do Pig.
But, right choice.
But I just feel like because people were forced to be home, they were consuming all of this, and now that they've got themselves a voice into this subset of geek culture that they would never have dipped their toes into, and generally they're the ones that are kind of banging the drums, causing and stirring the shit more than the other people.
To be fair, this bad behavior is not just on the internet. It is at restaurants. It is where we go out into the world. People are having bad behavior because the pandemic. People are pissed about all the things. If you go to a restaurant, people are yelling because the food's not fast enough, or they have to wear a mask or not wear a mask, or someone's not doing this or someone's not doing that. We have lost a lot of the ability to navigate with other human beings because we've been trapped in our homes for so long. Right. But it is something where people look at America with airports or bus terminals or whatever it is. People right now feel that they have been wronged, and now it's time to fight back like every 80s movie that has happened to it. So this is
not as good.
To them, it's good. Because again, they are the Hans Gruber to this situation. They think they're the good guy. So, but like this is the thing. Like I agree with you, Rob. The fans are really, because they were able to catch up and watch a lot of stuff. But again, it's because of the pandemic. In terms of, we are just all pissed off that we've lost this or didn't do that. So you got to channel that rage and outlet to somewhere. So this is where we're at.
Yeah, and I will say, Rob, if I can, just one thing, because Stu touched upon it. There's so much choice. There's so much option. There's just, it's an overabundance of options that we have. And I'll just liken this, like Stu was talking when we were young, but when you first started being able to get those Game Boy Advance cartridges that had like the 200 games in one, or like a Super Nintendo cartridge with like 200 games, or like you had, once we started being able to burn CDs with like tons of games. Before that time, you got a game on Christmas and a game on your birthday. It didn't matter how sucky that game was or how hard that game was. You played that game for the next 6 months, because that was like the next one you were getting wasn't. And my birthday's in February, so I had to wait 10 months before Christmas came around before I got the next game. If you didn't pick a good game, it didn't matter. You played it, you consumed it, you enjoyed the hell out of it, no matter how bad it was. The minute those cartridges came out with 200 games, I don't think I finished a game for the rest of my life. I would play. The second it got a slight bit boring, boop, switch, play the next game. That's what's happening now. You're just over-consumed. You're over-burdened with like so many different options, right? That you're just like, the minute I see something wrong, I switch out.
So, no, I agree with you. Apparently the people who are watching and commenting have no clue what the hell we're talking about. They, in fact, most of them are saying that they're going to need to rewind the episode because they're having their own devolved chat. Right now, they're currently stuck in a 90s time loop going on about flannel shirts, amazing rock bands, maybe funnel cakes, and Scott thinks we might be saving and solving world hunger. So I think this is going to be quite the interesting night. So I'm going to change up a little bit. Venom 2 trailer dropped today. Did either one of you knuckleheads happen to see it? You did? Yeah. What'd you guys think?
Just as bad as Venom 1.
Nah.
Like, what are we hoping for here? Why is there a sequel to this?
Because it made a whole shit ton of money.
It made a lot of money in China, Tim.
Well, and
guess what? This movie doesn't need the English language to really bring it to the next level. You just need action sequences like Transformers. And surprisingly enough, if English is not your first language, you can still enjoy this movie. I'm sure a lot of people will probably be televised on the Filipino channel after your podcast.
Maybe.
No dubs necessary.
No.
So, yeah.
I thought the trailer actually looked a lot better than the first trailer they released. We obviously saw way more of Carnage. Listen, here's the reality. We are not getting the Carnage and Venom that we grew up to. I mean, every time I think of Carnage, I think of that Super Nintendo game, Maximum Carnage. I loved that game. It was based off of the storyline. We're not getting that Carnage. Okay, fine. But we're also, the plus side was we're not getting that really goofy Woody Harrelson looking like Carrot Top curly wig from the end of Venom 1. That being said, I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but at the very end of the trailer, it said only in theaters this fall. They took out their date. Do you think that's an interesting marketing? Do you think somebody screwed up, or do you think, oh shit, we might be moving this movie again?
Moving it again, 100%.
Moving?
Yeah. They're pivoting in case things get really wrong.
Right.
You know, that makes so much sense for them because we talked about in the podcast. They don't know what's happening with the COVID rates in America and what's happening right. So I think they're just doing the smart thing. And yeah, Rob, to your point, I hear the Green Jelly song from Maximum Carnage now. So thank you very much. Now it's stuck in my head. I'm not going to get rid of it. There's a song in Maximum Carnage, the MIDI, that's now stuck in my head.
Well, hey, let me tell you that. One is the loneliest number, Stu. Now you can have that earworm.
No, Green Jelly's too strong. It's too much in my head. And yeah, the chat's now talking about funnel cake. God, I miss the CNE. Yes, go Tim.
CNEs. Wait, where's the best funnel cake? I think we can all agree it's Wonderland. Wonderland has the best funnel cakes. We're talking about the CNE.
CNE has some good funnel cake, man.
I wouldn't trust any food from the CNE. Like,
dude, you go there for the I went there for every year. I go there and have stupid food, whether it's the cheeseburger that's made with the patties of the 2 Krispy Kreme donuts, or the deep fried eclair, or the deep fried butter, deep fried Mars bar, crickets. I had all the gimmicks every year.
Do you have a problem? Do you just not like your colon? Is this what I'm like? Your internal organs? Are you just saying I don't give a shit about you guys?
I play a lot of football.
Immunity, Rob. He's building.
I play a lot of football. Yeah. I stand in net. I'm a goalie, so I just want to eat and stand there
with all that food. Of course you are, because you wouldn't be able to run as a forward. You'd be like, no.
I just put my hands out. That's it. That's it. Great.
So we talked earlier before Stu came on about Tim being part of the Fight Insight podcast. We talked about, obviously it's an MMA type of a podcast. So listen, movies have been, in the last 15 years, you've had a bunch of fighters transition from the squared circle or the octagon. You can say obviously The Rock as being one of the bigger ones. Hulk Hogan didn't do that great after Surf Ninja. No holds barred Surf Ninjas, and then he was out. But we also have
Rocky. He has Rocky.
Dave. Okay, Thunderlips. We have Dave Bautista. We have Randy Couture, Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey. So I guess my question to you guys is, can athletes, or I guess more, can fighters successfully transition into acting? Or is this more of like a gimmick where you get like the occasional decent one? I'm going to say actually Dave Bautista is probably one of the best actors that has come out of that. Obviously John Cena is in the upcoming Suicide Squad this week, was in Fast 9 last week. So what do you guys think? Okay, Tim, you're the expert on this. Can fighters successfully transition into acting?
If you're in the WWE, WWF, right, that job, acting, is a primary skill. Some would say more important than your athletic skill at points, right? So being able to sell yourself, being able to develop a character, stuff like that, especially the old school wrestlers, right? They had that talent. The Rock definitely had that talent, and that's where he is now. MMA fighters, it's been a tough go for them. Their job is not to put on an act and put on a show, right? Their job is only to fight. Gina Carano being presumably maybe one of the most successful. I mean, you had Randy Couture in The Expendables. You've got, different fighters taking on bit roles here and there. Keith Jardine, the Dean of Mean, he's actually a side character in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And he's a
guy off into the back he's like the bouncer, or whatever, who gets his ass kicked usually towards the second half of the movie, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it depends. It depends on the different types of roles that you can take and whether they build you right. Remember, The Rock started with very small roles, like small movies and things like that. So they took the time to develop him. I think now too many people see The Rock and go, "Oh, I should be headlining a movie. I should be a superstar," and they go for the big roles right away. Batista has managed to do it, but then again, you look at the roles that he took on. Man with the Iron Fist. What was that movie? Was it Man with the Iron Fist? He was in that one. Then even if you say Guardians of the Galaxy, which definitely brought his star power up, he was just mumbling through that movie, right? Like he wasn't a big man. I love him. I think he's great, but I think he took the right roles to get there. But it depends. It depends on the kind of person you are and whether you've got that talent and whether you take the right roles to build you up slowly.
Stu?
Yes, to build upon Tim's point, to be a professional wrestler, the mic skill is one of the most crucial. The best wrestlers who transitioned into acting, that's improv. You're up there, you're engaging with the crowd. The best of them have that ability to really be able to speak, and they do really well after in their careers, whether it's hosting or other things, because again, to be able to command that crowd. And the outliner is The Rock, to Tim's point. Like, he is the one that was able to transition smoothly to that, whether it was his cameo in Star Trek Voyager where he rock bottomed someone in the gladiator pit, or whether it was the CGI version of him in the Scorpion King. And he slowly developed his plan and the work ethic that he had in order to become the greatest, professional wrestler who moved over. There are lots of guys who have tried. John Cena, Edge, there's Roman Reigns. The list goes on, but none of them have the ability, because again, a lot of their nuance as a professional wrestler is not necessarily their mic skills, but their ability to be menacing on screen. Even with Dave Bautista, a lot of that was about menacing, and that doesn't always translate to movies. There's only so many times you can be menacing on that. To the UFC portion of it, I think it's really difficult for them to get into that space. God bless them. They get screwed, and Tim can talk to us with probably this past podcast. They get screwed so much on money that they either you make nothing or they basically get blackballed because of a person that we're not going to name names being a dick. But there's a guy who used to run things and he's now running things, and now whatever, you can put the dots together. If you get on his bad side, then you're done. So this is the monopoly they have, and they don't feel the need to push people up to get them that level because they throw them out like dispensable, like Pez every single time. This person's hurt, bring in the next person. So they're not about building about property. That's the nice thing about professional wrestling. You can build a stable of people and get 5 years of a wrestler, whether it's Randy Orton or whether it's and the comments GSP, like he's an anomaly outside of that. Like he's transitioned.
Well, he's not really acting though. He's just doing.
He's basically being himself and Backtrack the Leaper, which is also French. So it worked out that way. But yes, to your point, he transitioned just because the role fit him perfectly. But in terms of, he was also an anomaly because he was a great fighter that consistently won. But there are many fighters who are like boxers, one and done, and that's it. And they don't have opportunities to carry on after fighting because they're not allowed to build up that portfolio because the UFC owns everything. They were able before to do stuff on your pants. Nope, you don't get to do pants. You can't do this. You can't do Bitcoin. You can't do this. You can't do that. So that's a bigger conversation. But yes.
Well, I like what Fraser put though, because I was actually thinking like John Cena. For me, I'm going to tell you, like I think Dave Bautista has transitioned to an actor quite well. I mean, I thought his turn in Blade Runner 2049 was really cool. It was very subdued. Like, I mean, it was a very small role right off the bat, the first 10 minutes. But, Dave has gone on to say, listen, I've taken acting classes. Like, I don't want to be The Rock. I don't know if him and The Rock have a beef. He's like, I'm not an action guy. I'm not out there. Yeah. I want to be an actor or a thespian. I will say John Cena is funny as heck. Man, he is killed on Saturday Night Live when he's appeared. He killed in Cock Blockers, which is like a hilarious movie. And even in Bumblebee, where he was playing like over the top and maybe potentially a prototype of what we're going to see in the Peacemaker stuff. I think he's done a fantastic job. His turn in F9 is shit. I'm just going to call it.
Is it really?
All right. He's horrible.
He's playing it's a serious role though, right?
Well, but he should play to his strengths, and his strengths are comedy and are comedy and almost like not like just kind of not dumb, but kind of so. He's got blinders on where he can't see. Like those are his strengths, right? Like I think you're going to see in the Peacemaker, he's going to be really hilarious in that. His comedy skills are great. His action skills, though, as like a badass, are shite. And I move on, John's going to leave that to The Rock or Batista.
But that's why he's the good guy, right? He probably doesn't have the acting skills, even in wrestling, to be the heel, right? He's always been the good guy. He's a guy that forever has been the good guy. And the only time I think in wrestling history when he was trying to be the heel was when The Rock came back out of retirement and had that little bit of a beef with him. And the only way you can make anybody a bad guy is when they're going up against The Rock, right? Because the people will side with The Rock a million times out of a million. So
well, he's a people's champion, Tim.
Yeah. And I do want to say as well to Stu, in terms of MMA, in terms of fighting, and in terms of the money they make, whether or not you believe that they don't get paid a lot, which is in debate. Dana White has come out and said to fighters that fighting in the UFC, fighting in MMA is not a career, it's an opportunity. And fighters need to understand that before they get in thinking, where's my big money? Not everyone makes it in any sport. The percentage of people that make it big is not. But he has come out and said, this is not a career. This is an opportunity. You're going to do it for a few years. You're not going to make a ton of money. You need to set yourself up some other way, right? This is something. And you need to go into that thinking that you can't just come in demanding big money.
The person that Sean Bailey named has basically done what the K-pop bands have basically done. It's like we own you. You don't get any opportunities to do anything else outside of this, and that's the way things go. Because again, you were able to do years ago to do side hustles and deals and do sponsorships. But if the UFC has an official you cannot do anything else with it. But to your point.
Yeah, you're allowed to do things out. You're allowed to do things outside. And that clothing stuff and all that. That's only during fight week. Only during fight week are you mandated to wear the kits and stuff like that, and to the cage and all that. But outside of that, they can get all the sponsors they want. You can promote all the protein drinks and supplements you want to your heart's content. It's a tough gig, man. It's a tough gig.
It's a super tough gig, and to your point, yeah, if he says it's not a money opportunity, that's it. But again, I'm sure that if they wanted to make the lives of these athletes a little more comfortable, they could amend some of the rules, aka a union, rules, regulations, different things. But that's a whole different conversation about MMA.
It's another conversation, but I'll end off.
Same thing to be said about professional wrestling. So both are the same boat. Both the same boat.
But for anybody that argues about fighter pay in the UFC, ask them if they have any T-shirts or if they bought the last pay-per-view. MMA fans don't buy a lot of swag, buy a lot of gear and stuff like that. It's different than like the NBA and all that, right? You go around and ask someone, do you have a UFC T-shirt? Almost nobody.
Well, they don't wear jerseys, but yeah.
But they do. You could buy their fight kit. You could buy anything. You could buy stuff to support. It's tough. Anyways.
Hey, so I'm going to talk to you about something that's kind of pissing me off now, and that is, Stu, we talked about this yesterday in the podcast about the toys, the spoilers. We talked about Lego and the hot toys spoiling a lot of these movies coming out. I'm just going to call it out. This shit happening with SpiderMan No Way Home is now getting to be absolutely atrocious. They just released some more figures, like Marvel Select released some more figures today.
I didn't send it to you,
Spider-Man. I know.
I saw it. I'm like, I'm not going to send it to Rob.
Yeah, I'm just getting irritated at this point. This is ridiculous. When are we? I'm just going to be a big baby about it. I don't give a shit. When are we getting the trailer? This movie is supposed to be coming out in what, 4 months, maybe 5 months, and we don't have a trailer. We don't have a teaser. We have nothing. All we have is a goddamn title, and we have a whole bunch of toys that have spoiled out, like 3 different costumes so far. What is happening? When are we getting the trailer? And when am I going to see it? Because now I'm just getting irritated on it.
For those that don't know, what are the toys? Do we have a picture to
you
show
don't
people?
Want to spoil it. You don't want to. You don't.
No, I don't. I didn't upload any photos because the problem is I have a lot of photos that you probably don't want me to upload, and it's widescreen.
The government doesn't want you to upload them, Rob. But
yeah, there's a lot of integrated toys, not only for
the different toys I have on my yeah,
there's a lot of things.
Okay, but where's my trailer? That's my question, guys. Where is my trailer?
Shang-Chi. That's gonna come out in Shang-Chi.
That's your prediction?
September.
Really?
We're almost there. We're in August, aren't we? September.
Guess I'm never seeing the trailer then. What do you mean? It's gonna be in Shang-Chi?
They're gonna release it with the movie.
No. Yeah, Rob, it doesn't matter. We're all going to watch Spider-Man anyways. It does not matter. Everybody is going to go watch Spider-Man. The first 2 movies have been great. The guy is great as Spider-Man. The whole universe they've set up around Spider-Man is great. We're all going to go watch it. They could.
Here's where I disagree. Yes, I because I'm a fanboy and I want my shit now. Just to harken back what we talked about earlier, I want my Uber Eats, I want my DoorDash, I want my movies, I want my trailer right now. But here's the problem, Tim, is that this is not just another Spider-Man movie. This is a multiverse movie. They've teased the multiverse in the Loki series. We know it's coming out in the multiverse, and also, in the WandaVision at the very end. We know we're getting Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. All of the rumors, Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 has said, oh yeah, I'm in. I mean, he pretty much is now disavowed by Marvel and Disney, but he's gone on record and saying, oh, I've got all this stuff. I did this. The computers are doing that and everything gets so much easier. We know all these things are happening. Don't you think, though, that we should be, they should just be saying, okay, guys, you know what? There's all this shit out there. We are just going to go ahead and,
No, because here's the thing. You complained about this before, about Black Widow coming out in trailer after trailer, giving too much stuff away. Just wait, because they don't know what's going to happen. So let's wait and see what Shang-Chi does. And let's see what the pandemic does to us. Because frankly, the more stuff you put out there, how many trailers have there been for, Bond? At this point, I can tell you the whole damn movie, because we've seen another Bond trailer and another Bond trailer and a 4th Bond trailer. You might as well, at this point, you waited this long. Why rush? You might as well wait another month, because frankly, if you pull an audible and push this movie back another 4 months, then you can hold out the trailer a little bit longer. This trailer number 2, because the first trailer apparently is never, ever, ever going to show either Tobey Maguire or the other guy that's jumping off my head, the other Spider-Man. So they're why am I forgetting? Garfield. Yeah, Andrew Garfield. They're not going to show either. So trailer 2 will show it. So trailer 1 is just like, here's a Spider-Man movie. So they're going to wait. Just wait. It's fine. This is like Braveheart. We just got to hold. Pull to William Moss's, put the stakes up, and then we're gonna go.
Yeah, there's no worry here. Like, I think they don't have to build anticipation for this movie. They don't have to build excitement for it. They know everybody's going to watch Spider-Man, and to Stu's point, they don't know what's going to happen with release dates and stuff like that. And one of the problems with Black Widow in general was that we watched a billion trailers. I've probably watched 2 hours of trailers for Black Widow before it came out, to the point where you're like, okay, it's almost like I don't need to watch it anymore. Like, I'm not going to pay the exclusive thing. I'll just wait for it to come out on Disney Plus, because I've seen so much of it. It almost bothered me. For Spider-Man, if they're worried that that's going to happen, just leave this trailer alone. Just wait until you know for sure it's going to come out. It's not going to hurt sales in the least. I think that's the thing.
All right, and before we go, guys, I got to get going. Something just kind of come up, but this is horrible to end on, because I wanted to have a really deep discussion on it. But are we oversaturating the market with superhero movies and television shows? Are we hitting a crescendo where it's just too much? There's just too much selection, too many things. We're going to miss stuff. I know that, Stu, your big phrase is got to catch them all, but is it just too much for the average person to be able to maintain?
You want to go first, Tim, or do you want me to go?
No, go ahead, Stu.
How many cop shows do we have on TV? How many hospital shows do we have on TV? How many shows do we have about lawyers? Guess what? Every year we have a new show. Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Criminal Intent. We have Boston Legal. Every year we have a new show involving police officers, involving nurses or doctors. Comic books will just continue to go, because if it's interesting and there's a new character that can be involved, they're good. Like, I just can't imagine that we're going to be tired of it. It's not like a Western where it's the same cowboy walking into a town. It's just a new superhero, a new perspective, a new background, and we're going to go. So yes, to Gordon, CSI, we have, how many NCIS shows are there? There's like a million of these procedurals, and you just set them and forget them. Tim?
Right. Yeah. The question is there too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. And I think the reason why I'm going to say no, to Stu's point, there's
hey guys, wait, sorry, before I interrupt you, Stu, do you have access to the
I do.
You do? Okay, guys, I unfortunately, something's kind of come up. I'm going to have to bounce out of here. I apologize. I know this has been more of a serious conversation tonight than maybe you guys were expecting. I do appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. I'm sorry for me having to kind of abruptly leave, but I can assure you it's for good reason. I'm going to leave it off with Stu and with Tim. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Tim and Stu are going to continue this conversation, and I will see you guys soon. All right?
Yeah. Okay. Take care, brother. So the question, I guess I'll just say my answer to you, Stu. I do agree. I do agree, man. I think there can never be too much, because everybody's got their different opinions and different choices, right? Like half the time, the group of us here on the podcast don't agree on what we like or don't like, and that's why we need more, so that there's more options, more choices. And as always, competition breeds, what's the term? Competition breeds ingenuity, something like that. But the more you have, right, the more competition there is out there, the better we all have to get, right? That's why that new, what did they come out with, the new handheld video game thing, the Stadia thing or something?
Oh, yeah, that bomb.
But hold on. But they're saying that at least now Nintendo has to go, oh, okay, shoot, there's another handheld on the market. We got to up our thing, because you guys talked about that OLED. Were you on the podcast when they talked about the new OLED model?
Nintendo's Nintendo. They don't do anything. Don't worry.
But if there's but if there is no competition, it definitely doesn't have to make them strive harder to do something. And they're saying that when Nintendo released the OLED, it's because they're just like, there's nothing else really here. Fine, Stadia is doing something. Fine, we'll put out a better screen. But they don't really need to do that much, because there's no competition. That said, the more and more that we have of like shows and movies and things of the same genre or the same style, it's better for everybody, because it means that someone's going to think up something better.
Well, I think to Rob's point, where he mentioned that years ago, there was a category for Westerns and the Academy Awards. It was a thing that was a big deal. There was a subsect of people that loved Westerns and spaghetti Westerns and whatnot, and that kind of dissipated. And I think a lot of reporters and reporters asked Spielberg and asked Spielberg specifically about, are these superhero things a fad? Are we going to get tired of it? And I think he said, it's going to be a time where there's too much saturation. And I think Kevin Feige pivoted and went, hey, we're going to make a new show in a different type, and we see that in fruition. Every one of these Marvel shows are completely different than each other. Yes, the superheroes are kind of there, but we've had, a weird sitcom TV show, WandaVision. We had an action adventure movie, and Falcon Winter Soldier. We have, a weird timey-wimey Doctor Who space adventure in Loki. We're going to have another gritty street drama in Hawkeye. A woman, young girl, immigrant story in Ms. Marvel. Back to a legal drama with like She-Hulk. And then we're going to have like a weirdo like Moon Knight show. So again, like these things are, as long as you pivot just a teeny bit to give it a new flavor, it's kind of like Coke. It's like, well, there's a Diet Coke, here's a Coke Zero, here's a Coke with cherry, here's you can add different flavors to it, but still the same product, but just a teeny bit different.
I think someone may be angry that the inmates are running the asylum here.
Oh, this is great. We should do this.
There it is.
Let's not stop this. Let's keep on going for an hour. Oh.
What's up, dudes?
Let's keep on going. When does this thing end, John? I think it's at the midnight. We'll just keep on going.
It's good to end now if you guys gotta go. But unfortunately, I hope everything's cool with Rob. I heard that
Rob is fine. Rob is fine. He had something important he had to pull up, so it's fine. But
that said, we do wish Rob all the best. And hope
you guys, good job, guys.
I came in late, so don't say good job. It's all Tim holding it down. I came in tardy as well, so I have nothing going on. But
it's a Sidekick Insight Fight podcast or something like that.
Yeah. It's really the Tim and Rob show with latecomer Stu. So that's it.
No, you can look at how many people are watching. That's great. Keep going. I'm just here to listen.
What else?
No, but I think there's interesting because we've talked about before with streaming. It's all about driving content, and at this point, I think I heard Bruce Green on one of his streams talked about it, and he made a really good thing. It's like the Marvel shows are very much like pop music. Like you just listen to it and you can watch it, and there's no thing. And like some of the CW shows are like ska. Like either you are into it or not into it. And you don't tell someone to listen to ska. They just find it on their own. It's like that's kind of the thing. Like Arrow. Arrow's like a ska band. You found it on your own, and if you love it, you love it. But it's not like, Tim, you should watch this show. You'd be like, that's a little bit weird for me, buddy. Like, it's not for me. I'm not a ska guy. But it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, that's a really good kind of like synopsis of these shows. It's like a lot of the CW shows are a niche kind of thing where if you love it, you really love it. But the Marvel ones seem to be capturing everyone's attention because they're very for tentpole. Do you think that's kind of off, or
no, I agree with you, but I also think that they've done a good job in making us realize that you have to watch everything. Like everything is interconnected from the very beginning of when they made this universe. They have made it very clear that everything is connected, and we're going to show you the little links and the little chains that connect to one another, and we're going to put little cameos in here and there. And you can't go watch a movie without watching the other ones because you need to watch it. And with these Disney Plus TV shows, they've done a great job in saying, okay, we're going to release this for this, period of time. We're going to give you a little break, go spend some time with the family. And then next month, boom, we're going to hit you. And now you got to get sucked into this one. And I'll tell you, even though I did not enjoy WandaVision near the end, I was liking it at the beginning, but near the end, I was kind of sick of it.
Yep.
Loki, pretty much sick of it from the very
beginning. You were like all in at the beginning, buddy.
I know. Like
I love this show.
Yeah, the first
and then he's like, no, I don't love it no more.
Yeah, I know. But did I watch every single episode? Yes. Right? Did my wife sit there and watch every episode with me? Yeah. We know that it's not the greatest, but we're like, okay, but we know we got to watch it because it's going to lead into something else. And so they've done a really great job in doing that. And to be fair, they have put in the quality, they've put in the production value, they've gotten the stars, they've gotten the writing and stuff like that. And we know that it's leading somewhere. So you keep sticking with it. But then the CW shows, like you're saying, Stu, right? Like some of those, like I don't know anybody that watches Black Lightning, but damn, did I love that show. I love Black Lightning. I can't find anybody that has watched it.
No,
nobody.
But when you do, it's like finding that person that truly gets you. You're like, I'm
waiting to find that person, Stu. I'm waiting to see anybody that has watched Black Lightning.
As we joked last week, you're trying to make Fletch happen. It's a thing that you're trying to fetch happen. So Yeah, the joke, the inside joke about all the stuff. John is coming in for the Ted Lasso heads. Lust conquers all. So he survived the vote off. That's why John's here and Rob is gone. So those of you who are watching Ted Lasso at home, which season 2 is on right now. So Tim, if you haven't watched Ted Lasso, get on it.
I am all into AP Bio right now. Have you seen that?
I have seen AP Bio, but
not happy with that. Eh?
It's fine. It's fine.
I like it a lot.
I think it's good, but I love, you already mentioned Patton Oswalt, so I love Patton Oswalt. So already
it's MODOK in full human form.
Yeah,
it's great.
But I cannot sell enough Ted Lasso. So if the group on the chat is not watching Ted Lasso, please do. It is my favorite show. I love it, and it's season 2 is happening right now. Episode 2 came out, and I was dying. It's great, nice. And it is everything you'd want. There've been wonderful articles written about it, about how it's giving new perspective in terms of masculinity and all these different things about what an alpha male is and all this. And it's a joy to watch. And Brent Goldstein, as John shows right there, is Roy Keane, and he is the best. It's like if you watch it, you'll just love it. They just do such a good job of making all the strong male and female characters interact without making it seem too ridiculous. So yeah, and if you like a little bit of European football, John, it'll teach you about soccer. You're great. You have the same knowledge of soccer.
I was gonna get Sarah to do that.
Oh God, Sarah, she can't do it. I'll do it for Sarah. I'll take the bullet for her. She might physically.
I was gonna ask, in soccer, is there, you know how players have stats? Is there a kick percentage, like a percentage if you're running to the ball and you're just gonna straight up miss kicking the ball? Do players have a kick percentage?
There's advanced metrics, John, in terms of how much you run kilometer wise. I'm sure they capture that too. So they do tell you how much kilometers each player runs in each game. So they go to the nanite of how like for that, because again, there's a lot of money in soccer. Football in Europe. So yeah, John, we gotta get you to do a football movie, a soccer movie. So I just have to pick out the right one for you.
What's a soccer movie? She's the Man. Is that a soccer movie?
You gotta watch The Mean Machine.
I'll watch that.
Go watch The Mean Machine.
She's the Man is a soccer. Mean Machine.
Mean Machine is amazing. Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna. I think Victory is the movie we have to watch. Is the movie we're gonna watch with you, John? With Sylvester Stallone is in this movie. And also Pele is in this movie.
Which movie?
Victory. It's
Victory. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, John. We have to watch Victory. You have to watch Victory because then you could do your Stallone. That's it. So you can do your Stallone.
It's not as good as Rob's Vin Diesel.
So yeah, I think it's a good plan for you. So Victory. Oh my God, look at that, Michael. It's Michael
Caine.
It's Michael
Caine's in there.
Oh yeah. It's what a weird
Michael
movie.
Caine, Stallone, Pele, and a whole bunch of people with no pictures on their IMDb.
Yeah, Max von Sydow, because it's a different time back then, John. They didn't have headshots.
There's no such thing as IMDb back then. They didn't need to worry about it. Yeah, they weren't worried about doing that.
Yeah, or Fraser's mentioned Shaolin Soccer. They're you've already seen Shaolin Soccer. And Ladybugs.
Yeah. Shaolin, yes. Hold on. Shaolin. If you want to watch a movie that truly represents soccer, you watch Shaolin Soccer.
Oh, Gord. R.I.P. to you, Jonathan Brandis. Sequest DSV. One of my secret shows I loved so much as a kid. They had a dolphin, damn it, that spoke to people. That was so stupid. It was a whole show that was underwater. Sequest.
She's the Man has a soccer ball in the poster.
Yeah.
So I think we have to put that next.
She does play soccer with Channing Tatum. So that's a thing. So yeah.
Vinnie Jones is in this. Any movie with soccer in it has to have Vinnie Jones in it.
Yeah.
He's like the most famous soccer playing actor in Hollywood.
100%. Yep, 100%. That's him. So
he's made it, man.
Yeah. I think I don't know why you're laughing. This is your things. This is what happens. So, all right, John, you want to wrap this up for us? We're gonna pander to the chat as we keep on talking, as Gord mentions. Yes, Jonathan Brandis. Yes. We're always on the same wavelength, Gord.
Yeah, look at this. It's like you guys have ESPN. Look at you too. All right. Well, thank you so much, folks. Thank you guys for filling in and taking care of things. Hopefully, Rob, everything is good with him. I think that's it. So please tune in to tomorrow. Andre's got what's new at the shop, bearing any shipping incidents. So we have been known to have the worst luck when it comes to couriers. So hopefully that will happen. Otherwise, he'll just be on the video going, nothing came in. And then Wednesday, he's got a great interview with Ho Chi Anderson and his Luke Cage book coming up. And he's also author, creator of a lot of other books that you probably did not know that he wrote. So very, very interesting fella. And that's going to be live premiering at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Thursday, we're going to be back with the news without Rob again. So I don't know it's going to be crazy summer, folks. And it's almost done. It's almost over. Tim, what's coming up on Fight Insight this week?
This week we have, last week on Friday, we dropped a really good episode with Elise Little Savage Anderson, who's a atomweight fighter. She's over in 1FC and she's fighting in their big Grand Prix tournament on September 3rd. So that was awesome getting to meet her. And this week we have Canadian fighter Malcolm X Gordon. He's a UFC fighter, just won his first UFC fight a couple of weeks ago. And then we have a few more people booked. The one that I'm extremely excited, and maybe I shouldn't announce this before we actually get it going, but we've got a ring announcer for the first time. Well, secret guest, it's a ring announcer, and we've never had a ring announcer, and I'm so excited to speak to him, and it's one of my favorites. It's I won't say the name, so I don't want to jinx it. I don't want anything to
tease it out,
but very excited. And
so you want to get on there. You want to sub, folks. They're at 1:30, so we got to get them. We got to get them up there. More people should be watching this. So definitely give Tim a good sub.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Those Fight Insight podcasts. And Stu, what do we got coming up Sunday? Heroes World podcast.
We have a lot of options right now. All depends on what panelists can watch. I know someone.
We're doing the one movie. We already put it off for 1 week, so he's getting the whole week.
Yeah, we're gonna see what people can do. I am a slave to other people's schedules. I have all the time in the world to see all these things, but I'm waiting for other people to catch up.
Is one of the options Kingdom, the new Kingdom movie that dropped?
Ooh, I'm not familiar with that.
No, well, we can we know we've been talking about Fast 9 either this week or next week. Okay, we're going to talk about Fast 9.
Yeah, I think Fast 9 is for sure going to be on the docket, and we'll see what else drops. Suicide Squad, we're not sure about lining up schedules and things like that.
I know for sure Fast 9 is on it because boy, oh boy, that was a time.
Not good. I think before you got on, Stu, Rob was kind of giving the thumbs down.
It's really weird. Like I'm not gonna ruin it. It's really weird.
I asked him, what was the last one that you liked? The correct answer.
Rob's answer was 6. Yeah, Rob's answer was 6. So he didn't like 7 and 8 with the submarine.
Honestly, the last movie I really loved was Fast 5. Like that's the one I really love.
So before it started getting crazy.
Like it was already crazy, but once it got to Dubai crazy, I was like, I think I'm out of this. Like when they jumped through the building, I'm like, and it was kind of like fun. But to your point, did I like it or did I love it? Yeah, Fast 5 was the last movie I loved, and then the other.
I think 6. I think 6 has merit. 6 is pretty good.
6 has science. 6 has a lot of science in it.
6 is the one where it was Gaston fighting the Fast and Furious people, and that was the movie. And then 7 was Jason Statham, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think 7 was the first Jason Statham one.
Yeah. All the whole God's Eye, all the technology thing is just a crutch. It gets ridiculous each time. So yeah.
But that puts it into perspective for me because I love each one and how it gets more and more ridiculous.
Oh, you're gonna like this one because it's really ridiculous. But at the same time,
I think it's impressive how they escalated things.
This disbelief can only go so far where you're like, oh, okay,
this one they're in space, and then I heard Fast 10 is going to be a multiverse.
It has to be because there's nowhere else to go.
Like you got to get beyond, right? So
like Grey's Anatomy, they've run out of horrific accidents that can happen in the Seattle, Washington area. They need, like I always joke, like this show will end as soon as there's a Zeppelin incident. Oh, we had a Zeppelin crash and we have to take all these people to the hospital. Like that's what needs to be required because they've had train, plane, automobile, and ferry accidents. There's almost nothing left. So yeah, this is the same thing. Maybe if the same thing. If the fast guys steal the Zeppelin and they race the Zeppelin in the air, maybe that's the next thing they need to do as well. So yeah. Needless to say, if you love fast movies, you'll love and ridiculousness. This is fine.
Nice.
Yeah. Stay tuned. You'll want to hear if Andre liked it. We've got indications of whether or not Rob liked it. It looks like it's a no. and you'll find out where me and Stu stand. Sarah is asking for homework. Like, I don't know what we want to watch next week. Rob's taking off. I hate making springing things on him, but he had to go. So maybe we should make an executive decision. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to watch. Throw your suggestions. We'll give it a couple minutes. If I can't think of anything, I'll hit you guys up in the chat. I was thinking Blade 1.
You're looking for an old movie?
I think we should rewatch something older. I was looking for Blade 1, but I don't know if it's actually on any streaming service. So unless everyone wants to dig up there, I own it on multiple platforms, so it's no problem for me.
Why Blade? Like, why that?
I don't know. I was just thinking of, like, you guys talked a little bit about movies and superhero movie fatigue. I think Blade is arguably one of the first superhero movies before this whole train started rolling, right? Unless you want to go back.
And also to tie it into wrestlers in movies, Triple H was in Blade 2.
Yes, he was.
Blade 2 or Blade 3?
Blade 2 or Blade 3?
3. Okay. Yeah.
Because that was a Ryan Reynolds movie as well.
That was the first one with Ryan Reynolds. That's right.
Because 2 was Guillermo del Toro, and that was with the Ip Man. That was
Donnie Yen had a small part in it. Yes.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of. There was the cat from Red Dwarf, which when I saw, I'm like, oh my god, that guy's from Red Dwarf. Anyways, a lot of random characters in Blade. Blade 2, which is secretly my favorite Blade movie. I'm saying it right now. Blade 2 is the best
Blade
one.
2
is
your best one?
Blade 2 is the best one.
Why? Which one do you like the best, John?
Blade 1 is super film, sure.
I say Blade 3 was the best.
Blade 1 for
Blade
sure.
1 for sure.
Get out of town, Tim.
Blade 3? I always was so upset that they never did a spin-off with the what were they called, the Night Stalkers? I forget what they called themselves. Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. I always thought this was ripe for them to do a spin-off with those guys, and it would have been amazing. But time.
Okay, one more before you guys go. What is, Stu? Since you're such a film connoisseur, and then I'll let Tim answer after. What is your favorite Guy Ritchie movie then?
Oh my god,
this actually came up in my conversation today.
That's a
is
great.
Rock and Rolla a Guy Ritchie movie?
Yeah, Rock and Rolla is a
technically, yeah.
Oh God, there's so many good ones.
Is it Snatch? Is Snatch the best?
Snatch is a movie. Is a movie that he directed. Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels is the one. I didn't mind The Gentleman. It had its moments. You're not going to trick me to say King Arthur. Man from U.N.C.L.E. was also decent. Rock and Rolla, yeah, Rock and Rolla. God, I think. Oh man!
I actually have not seen Man from U.N.C.L.E. Everyone in the comments, please throw out your favorate Guy Ritchie movie, and then we're just going to close this up.
Honestly, Man from U.N.C.L.E. is decent. Like, I don't think it got. Maybe you should watch Man from U.N.C.L.E. because enough people probably didn't watch it to really appreciate how good Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill and Alicia Vikander. Like, there's a really good, fun movie to watch if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Shout outs to Eric. Thanks for joining us again, Eric. You asked if anyone watched the Blade TV show with Sticky Fingers as Blade. I did give it a try. I wanted to like it. I'm a Sticky Fingers fan, but
Spike TV? That was on Spike TV, right?
I think yes, you're 100% right. Spike TV when that was a thing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I was like, I'm gonna Rolodex. I'm like, Slam Ball, Spike TV, Pros versus Joes. I remember the scheduling that was on that crappy channel. That was a lot. But John, I think Rob would probably say Man from U.N.C.L.E. is probably not, especially if you haven't seen Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's a good one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna tentatively put that on the schedule if you guys are cool with that. I don't know if it's available on streaming. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Where is that? Because I just looked. It's not on Netflix for sure.
It's not on Netflix. It was on Netflix Canada, but no, it's not available now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's available on the US. Is it the US one?
Oh, ugh. Then maybe it's Snatch then.
Is Snatch on it though?
I feel like Snatch is his best movie.
It's not.
Well, The Gentleman is on Netflix. Maybe that's the one you watch. Have you watched The Gentleman?
I have not seen The Gentleman.
Well, that's the redemption of you can watch a decent Henry Goulding movie. Maybe that's because Henry Goulding is in it.
Okay. I'm liking that. Okay, so The Gentleman reads: an American expat tries to sell off his highly profitable marijuana or marijuana, however you want to pronounce it, empire in London, triggering plots, schemes, bribery, and blackmail in an attempt to steal the domain out from under him. Okay, I think I'm down.
It's McConaughey. It's your boy Charlie Hunnam. You love Charlie Hunnam.
I actually do. I
love Charlie Hunnam.
Shout outs to King Arthur. I actually quite. Oh my god. Okay, so how come I didn't watch this? Did this come out during pandemic or something?
Colin Farrell. Yep. Hugh Grant. Yeah, you got to watch this one.
Okay, so let's put that on the schedule. Again, thank you so much, guys, for joining in and filling in. Sorry I've kept you guys a little longer than you probably needed to be. So definitely check out Fight Insight Podcast. Link is in the description. Follow their Instagram, YouTube, and Tim himself. Look at that lovely merch. I would have worn my shirt if I knew this was going down. So yeah, and then be ready for all our other content. So we're going to be watching The Gentleman next week. Stu, will you come back for The Gentleman?
Yeah,
I think you have to. I think you have to.
It's a good movie. Like you're welcome, Sarah. It's actually a good one, and that's good homework for people. I watched it recently a few weeks ago. It's I think as a director he's matured and he gets a little bit better with things. But yeah, it's a good one. And then you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So next week, folks, join in. Tune in for The Gentleman. It's going to be definitely out of our normal wheelhouse again. I feel, but
it's a good one.
It's a good Guy Ritchie. I'm down. All right, cool. All right, we better cut this off. Otherwise, we'll stay here all night. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Tim and Stu. Thank you, Rob, for holding it down. And hopefully, everything is all cool with you. And we will chat again soon, folks. Thank you.